Hello everyone, this is Nikita from Parcel Tracker, and today I'm going to show you guys how to set up Parcel Tracker for a residential building so that you can streamline deliveries, notify recipients automatically, and overall save time for everyone involved. By the end of this video, your scan and handover process will look a little bit something like this. Parcel arrives to the reception. Parcel is checked in. Recipient receives a notification. And parcel is checked out. Before anything else, I would first want to make the Parcel Tracker account. So to do that, just go to parceltracker.com and click Start for Free to create your free account. Once you've logged into your account, you want to enable one feature. To do that, let's go to Settings, Features, and I want to enable additional parcel details. So what this does is that it will allow you to add a digital tag, assign a parcel a storage location, and even take a wider photo of the parcel so you know what it looks like. Normally, when staff log in a parcel, they might assign it a physical tag and then put it away somewhere in the storage room. This feature digitizes the process so that you can save more time upon scan-in, and it'll also give you a digital parcel log which you can view from your Parcel Tracker dashboard. Next, I can finally upload my recipient list. Let's go back to the dashboard and select Recipients. From here, you can either bulk upload recipients using a CSV list, or you can add them in individually. The reason why we want to upload our recipient list first is because Parcel Tracker will use this data to match parcels to the correct recipient and notify them at the same time. Without a recipient list, Parcel Tracker will not be able to match parcels to the recipient, and the parcel could end up being placed on hold, and it will end up creating a new bottleneck in your reception. In a residential building, your recipient list will typically consist of tenants who live in the building, but you can also include staff who want to receive parcels on site. First, let's do the bulk upload. To do that, select Import List, and you'll actually find a downloadable template which you can fill in, or you can select an existing file from your device. Here's what the template looks like. There are some optional fields, but the most important ones you'll need to fill in will be the recipient's first name, their last name, their email. The reason why you want the email is because Parcel Tracker uses this as the primary notification platform. So when a parcel is scanned into the building, Parcel Tracker will notify the recipient via their email. And finally, their location. In a residential building, this can be the resident's floor and room number, or for staff, it can be their room name, like management office. Here's my sample CSV list, so I have a mix of residents with their floor and room number, and I also have some staff, like from reception desk, building management office, facilities, and security. When your CSV list is ready, select Browse File. Select the file from your device. Tick the box that you have permission to upload the data. Select Continue. And in this tab, you want to make sure that your columns are mapped to the correct property. Here's an example of a mismatch. In this case, unit, which I used to define room numbers, was not recognized as a location. So all I had to do was select the correct property. In this case, it would be location. When that's done, click Continue. Review the data. You can even edit information from here. Select Continue. Confirm, and then upload the data. Parcel Tracker will show you if there were any errors during the process, if there were any duplicate recipients, or if any recipient data was updated from an old CSV list. Since the ID and alias fields are empty, I can hide them. Hover over the field, select the hamburger icon, and select Hide. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to add recipients individually. So let's say that you have a new resident and you want to onboard them onto the Parcel Tracker system so they can start receiving parcels at the building. Click on Add Recipient and enter the necessary data. You can select Add and create another to add a new recipient, or Add to close the window. Next, I want to set up my scanning devices. So this can be a phone or a tablet. Apple or Android both work. For best performance, we recommend using an iPhone SE or an Android with 6GB of RAM and a 2.8 GHz processor. Staff can also use their personal devices, and if so, you can add them in as parcel tracker users. So let's do that now. Let's go to Settings, Mailroom Users, Invite User, and then you can just enter the necessary details here. From here, you can even select their permission levels. So if you just want this person, let's say Florence Nightingale, to be able to scan in parcels and scan them out, or maybe add some recipients, you can just invite them as normal. However, if you want them to be able to edit the building details, to toggle certain features, then you should be able to add them as admin. You can even select which sites they have access to. So if you have multiple sites, then you can toggle them here. And once you're done, just press send. They'll have received an invitation to the parcel tracker account, and you can edit their details from here. The next thing I'd want to do is to configure my tags. So to do that, just go to tags. You'll see that parcel tracker already comes with default tags, but you can add your own depending on your workflow. So don't worry, you can add as many tags as you want, and you can even assign them a color so that they're easier to see. The next thing I'd want to do is set up my recipient notifications. So let's go back to our dashboard and click on notifications. A delivery notification is what the recipient will get once the parcel is scanned into the building. So when you first scan in a parcel, it will automatically match to a recipient and send that same recipient a notification to come collect. This is on by default, but if you want to edit it, you can totally do that. To that, go to Actions and Edit. From here, you can personalize the email as much as you want, so you can edit the subject, the heading, and the subheading. You can choose to address the recipient by their first name, by their last name, or even by their alias. And in the subheading, you can edit the message. This is what the notification email would look like, so you'll see that the recipient will receive a QR code which you can scan when they're ready to come collect their parcel. You can even choose to show advanced parcel details, so let's turn that on and see what it looks like. This will show any parcel notes that have been added upon delivery, so notes like whether it was damaged, who the courier is, and when exactly it arrived. So once you're happy with the changes, just click Submit. So the next thing I would want to do is to set up my storage locations. So to do that, let's go back to Settings, select Storage Locations. So every building stores their parcels differently. Some buildings might have 2 storage rooms or 2 package rooms, but in a lot of cases, there's only 1 storage room for the entire building. If this is the case for you, we recommend really narrowing it down to each shelf, each aisle, just so that it's a lot easier to locate the parcel when the recipient is ready to collect. If you have more than 1 storage room for the entire building, then feel free to add those in as well. So to add a location, just select Add Location. So now that all of this is done, I can finally start scanning some parcels. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'll show you my personal phone screen, and we'll even demo scanning in and scanning out some parcels. So here on the left is my personal phone screen. I'll show you guys what Parcel Tracker looks like from mobile. And on the right, we have some sample labels which you can find on parceltracker.com/training. First, I want to show you guys where you can find Parcel Tracker on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So all you have to do is search, look for Parcel Tracker, select Parcel Tracker-Mailroom. You can download it for free, and then all you have to do is log in with your details. So when you first open the Parcel Tracker app, you'll see 4 tabs. The first one is In, which is what you'll use to scan in parcels, Add to Checkout Parcels. From this tab, you can manage parcels, recipients, and users. And then Settings. From here, you can access our live chat support, our knowledge base, configure the features, and select your scanning mode. When a parcel first arrives to the reception, all you have to do is select Scan Parcels, hold the camera over the label, and press and hold the button to pick the name and the barcode. And since we enabled the add additional parcel details feature in the beginning, we can add a photo. Select add photo and take a photo. You can select the tags we created earlier. And if you scroll down, you can even select the storage location. So you can do this for multiple parcels in a row. Let's select my second parcel label. And then my last one. When you're done, select next, and then it will show you which parcels you've scanned in. And once you've confirmed it, select check-in. So now you'll see that the app has already detected those parcels. So let's quickly go back to our web dashboard and you'll see that the parcels have already synced. So what about checking out parcels? Those parcels we scanned earlier were actually directed to my email. So let's go check if I received a notification. So earlier we scanned in 3 parcels. There was one for Albert and then one for Isaac. And you'll see that I already have those 2 notifications. This first one is Albert's. So this is what a recipient notification would look like. When the recipient is ready to collect, all they have to do is present this QR code to you at reception and then you can scan it from the checkout tab. So when a recipient is ready to check out, all you have to do is select the out tab, select recipient checkout, scan their QR code, and then you also want to scan in all their parcel labels. So this is Albert's. Select next. From here, you can either just check out or you can switch to recipient e-signature and then check out. Now let's do this again for Isaac. And you're done. You can also check out parcels from the Parcels tab. So let's say that a recipient has come to the reception to pick up their parcel but has forgotten to bring their QR code. No problem. From the Parcels tab, just navigate to the recipient's parcel, select open, and then click checkout parcel. You can even add notes and get an e-signature to confirm delivery. Now we're back at the Parcel Tracker web dashboard, and I actually want to show you guys one more tab that I think you'll find really helpful, and that is the Statistics tab. So from this tab, you'll actually find a lot of useful information such as peak check-in times and peak checkout times, your top couriers, as well as average parcel turnaround time. So this is the time from when a parcel is checked in to when it is signed out. So how would I use this information? If I have a big building with a lot of recipients, I can use peak check-in times and peak checkout times to strategize to be able to accommodate incoming deliveries. So let's say that my peak check-in times are between the hours of 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. With this information, I can choose to allocate more resources like extra helping hands, parcel trolleys to help accommodate incoming deliveries. I can even do parcel audits around 1 p.m. to make sure that there's enough space in my storage room to accommodate these new deliveries. As for average turnaround times, if I notice that parcels have been sitting in the storage for too long, I can choose to enable reminders or make them more frequent to make sure that recipients pick up their parcels in a more timely manner. That concludes our tutorial. Please let us know if you found this video helpful, which features you like best, or even which features you'd like to see us add in the future. See you next time.